Hey guys, um, so I'm about to play my match in 15 minutes. This is the Lichess 960 League, who just started this week. I forgot I signed up for this. Um, Let me check the layout. Seems correct to me. So yeah, my game against Tranzoo will start in uh, 15 minutes approximately. There's a 15 minutes delay on the stream, so that means that you're actually going to start watching that game in like 30 minutes time. So I'm not going to be following the chat, unfortunately. But well, it is what it is. Can't do this in real time. So yeah, these are the pairings. Apparently, this is an individual league. I think when I signed up, I thought it was a teams competition. But okay. So yeah, here I am. I play against Tranzoo. A couple results already, and this game is being played right now. So yeah, let's have a look. You can never trust people's ratings. Actually, my opponents, I've seen him around, but I think I never played him. Let's see his profile. He has some blog posts in there. Oh, let me plug my laptop before it runs out of battery. I almost did it again. There you are. Okay. So this is Tranzoo. Played 4,000 games, has some blog posts. He's on the Chess 960 League, on the 45-45 League, and also on the Lichess Swiss Club. They organize Swiss tournaments. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to fix up my OBS stuff, but I can't figure it out. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my god, I don't know what I did. That's horrible. But okay, I'll know. I won't switch. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? Okay, I think everything's fine-ish. Sings. I can sing here. Good. Okay, and my audio is on. No, stop messing around, Pepe. Okay, I won't touch it again. So yeah, this is my opponent. Let's follow this game. Still 10 minutes, 10 more minutes until my game. Let's see what happened here. We have the game between Zube Nelgenubi, 1900 standard, and Zouza Moraes, also 1900 standard. So you can never trust the ratings. On 960, this is 20 plus 20. I think I play with black, by the way. Yep. No, I prepared with white. Sorry, bad joke. Yeah, so what's this initial position? These pieces over here may be complicated to develop. On the other hand, all the pawns are defended. F2 may be the weakest. Okay, so d4, d5, c3, c5, and e4. Bishop there, 3, bishop there. A bit misplaced, maybe this bishop. Especially because you have heavy pieces here. But I guess if you played with, if you open with c5, you don't intend to castle long. But then that might be a problem for the queens. You know, that's one of the worst situations in chess 960 when you can't develop the queen properly. So are these guys going to castle short? When are they going to develop the queen then? So I have the feeling the way this game opened that both kings will be eventually exposed here, which can be fun, a lot of fun to watch. Yeah, and therefore this bishop in front of these pawns, I don't know, it's kind of blocking a bit the development of these pieces over here. So it takes knight b6. Look at that. It's giving away a pawn, just gambit style. So instead of recapturing, recapturing would have been normal, I think, unless maybe bishop a4, rook d7. I don't know, maybe it was uncomfortable for some reason, but now white can simply grab this pawn. Black will be in time to regain one of the two pawns, but not both. So I think white will just be a pawn up. We'll see. It's white to move, and maybe white even maybe white is even trying to go for something more concrete. But I don't see anything special here. Like let's say g4. Why would we do that? Why would we trade bishops and then take? If we can take immediately, and this bishop still not doing absolutely anything on h5. If the pawn on g4 was useful in any other way, but yeah. So yeah, takes. That's normal. Now I'm expecting knight takes d5, because one problem is the initial position. All the pawns are defended, so there's never going to be tricks with trying to hit one of those pawns because there's no pawn to hit. So yeah, knight takes d5, I suppose. What else? And black has an important problem with development, right? I mean, the bishops are there, but the rest of the army is not. Okay, let me try to fix the OBS situation, because you cannot see it, but this is a mess. Look at this. This is my OBS right now. So let me try to fix this so I can at least see my camera and see what I'm sharing. You see my problem here? I'm trying to move things around and they're not moving. Yeah, it's like, okay, now that moved out. So I'm gonna keep this out. Sorry you have to see this, but it's the only way I can do it. I only have one screen. So yeah, let me put everything out for now. Everything's, no, that's what I didn't want to do. Oh, I don't know what I did. Is it all broken? Okay, let me put, can I put that back there? I don't know how. Okay. So I have sources and I have scenes. I lost the somehow I lost the audio mixer. View. I don't know how to get back to it, but and I don't know how to put this back in, but okay, I can work with this. So let me put this away. I'm gonna assume everything's fine and you can still hear me. Hopefully I won't be muted for the rest of the stream. All right, 5 minutes till my match. And at least I can see my what I'm sharing on the screen. How to get the audio mixer? 1 second. Tools, view, docs, audio mixer. I hit it, docs, and now I'm showing it, but it's not appearing. And no, it's not appearing. I lost the audio mixer, guys. I don't know how to see now that the sound is okay. So I'm gonna hope it's okay. Can you put that there? Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm gonna play my match here. No, just 960. Thanks. Okay, I give up on changing that. And what happened here? D takes c5, knight takes d5. That's expected, and now c4. Right, yeah, that's black's problem. Yeah, I think I like white a lot here in this position. Yeah, like when this knight moves, I can imagine white even just trading rooks. Black loses the right to castle. But again, the question comes about this queen. If white wants to castle short and rook takes rook would be an indication of that, maybe. I think it's going to be hard to develop this queen, so maybe actually after this knight moves, let's say knight f6, if you trade rooks, maybe white will continue with king f2 or something like that, bring this knight out, and eventually bring these two pieces out on the first rank. Okay, knight b4 was played. That's a bit, I mean, maybe the knight can go to c6 still, but it's a bit strange because really doesn't have any active squares unless the idea is sneakier to go knight e6. Not not particularly impressive. In fact, even a3 and if knight e6 b4 is completely fine for white. Yeah. Again, you may just want to bring the knight out and castle, but then your queen is kind of stuck in the corner. Not that black has solved the problem yet, but maybe black, now that, black is not intending to castle, maybe black just, develops the queen on the diagonal and that's it. For white is a bit trickier. Now maybe g4, queen g2 is an idea to develop it. Yeah, that could make some sense. But a3 was played, asking this knight to decide. I would go to c6 now, because if you go to a6 again before, that knight is really in a very weird spot, because knight c7 is not even close to being harmonic. So yeah, knight c6, the most natural move, but black is a bit on the back foot here. A pawn down and also some development issues. On the other hand, white doesn't have all the development solved either. So still potential for many things to happen. If this bishop ever gets developed, then b2 is going to be weak, and the queen is ready, I think, to be developed on that diagonal. I don't see another way for black. Now I pointed out g5, which is defended by the rook, and not g6, because g6 would hand the bishop immediately. So yeah, black needs to be a bit careful with some things, because this is a weird spot. But yeah, maybe black manages to develop actually with some harmony from this point on. But a pawn is a pawn. Interesting game. In a minute, I will have to play my game against Tranzoo. Let me check there are no messages. I have my coffee. And I'm ready. It's time, actually. Um, so yeah, let me find my opponent. Oh, there it is, the challenge. Perfect. Thanks, Tranzoo. 20 plus 20. I should be black. There we go. Hey, good luck. Have fun. That's not whisper. That, wasn't a whisper, right? That, 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 wasn't a whisper, right? Maybe it was. I don't know with this extension. Anyway, so f4 on the board. Look at that weird move. I mean, we have bishops on the center, that's true. Um, other than that, yeah, development of the bishops. So I'm thinking c6, bishop b6, but obviously there's bishop f2 there. Can I go with a gambit immediately? e5. I don't want to copy the move from my opponent directly. So let me go g5. And this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. Now if takes I can take back, but I can also think of moves like e5. All of the pawns are defended. Need to keep an eye on the pawns, on these pawns over here. They seem particularly weak. Obviously, there's not going to be problems in the diagonals. Oops. if we develop normally with the knight here, for example, stuff like that. Okay. I may need to play knight c6 now. Definitely need to make a decision. I like taking here because that's gonna put a grip. Their own, development is gonna be complicated for my opponent. So let's say pawn takes, bishop a7, knight c6 seems like very, very, very incredibly reasonable. And bishop d4, I may take or I may play e5. So yeah, let's just take that. I think it's completely reasonable. If bishop d4 first, I can just block, so no problem in that diagonal. And yeah, that's blocking my bishop, but in the future I'll be able to do something. Yeah, now bishop d4, I just can push. Now this bishop needs to go out, and not good squares, probably has to go all the way back to f2, right? And at that point I will stop and think, because what happened so far, I like it. I like it. I can play d5, I can play e5. The a file got opened and I already played g5, so it's not, at this point it's not clear where am I gonna castle if I ever castle. But well, that's not the end of the world, is it? He went for that move, which is a bit weird, because I feel like e5 is winning a tempo, and I don't know what's the point. What's the point? Bishop c3, then d5, and I keep some initiative, I guess. Yeah, that can't be bad. I mean, obviously I can also take, and after queen takes, um, g2 is hanging. So actually maybe I should calculate that. Knight takes d4, queen takes d4, queen takes g2, queen takes h8, queen takes h1. If queen takes f8, queen takes f1. That's a crazy line. There's no need to complicate myself. Just play e5. That bishop is not that great, right? This bishop is not that great, even if it goes to c3. It's not that great. So let's play d5. Okay, maybe I blitz out that move, and I shouldn't have, but what can be wrong with this position? Now this bishop is ready to support the center if necessary, and this bishop is ready to go to d7, then I'd probably to e6. I feel like my pieces are developing more or less reasonably. It's not super harmony, but let's say reasonable. And I definitely got a couple tempi, so I have space, center, and so on. I suppose my opponent will contest the center, for example e3 would be reasonable. Another problem of the bishop on c3 is this knight on b1. How do you develop it now? And if you don't develop the knight, you can't castle long. Not that my opponent is interested in castling long now that my rook is looking at a2, but okay, so e3, very reasonable move. I can just take an f6 defending d5 because I'm expecting knight takes. So that could be one option. Oh, well, actually knight takes hangs d4. So yeah, so if takes, he has to take with the pawn, right? So maybe I should just take. So let's say if queen takes d4, queen h3 check, I have bishop d7. right? So let's take, he has to take with the pawn, which is not ideal. I mean, it gives the d2 square for the knight, but on the other hand, um, you don't want to ruin your pawn structure like that. But I think it's the only way to capture it. So yeah, and after that, I can I can do a number of things. f6 is one of them, but it blocks this guy. Bishop g5 first is potentially an idea. Queen g5 also. Both moves may actually threaten d4 or ideas connected to d4. I can even go knight e6 because the pawn is actually defended. Knight e6, knight e6, or just simple bishop d7. Actually, if I push this pawn, then this bishop can go somewhere useful, like g6, and I or f7, and I could start looking at a2. Yeah, I like f6, even though it looks like a very weird move. But honestly, I don't think this bishop wants to go to g5. I don't know, maybe, but maybe in the future too. I guess it's gonna be fine on e7. Okay, got a reasonable position, nothing special, but now I'm supporting my center and I have good development. Knight g3. Okay, knight may want to jump there. For example, if I go bishop e7, a5. What if I go h5? Then no, it's defended. What if I go h5? h4 can't be played because then I would be hanging. So h5, intending h4. I like that idea. So if h5, knight f5, then I can hit the knight. There's no bishop g4. There should be g4 maybe. So let's calculate that. h5, knight f5, bishop d7, g4. Feels wrong. But what's my... How do I punish that? Maybe after h5, knight f5, I don't have to go bishop d7. I could go queen g5. And then if g4, we're in kind of a similar position, yeah. But then I have d4 ideas. Yeah, h5 seems reasonable. I'm going to do it and let my opponent think about knight f5 while I calculate it. So knight f5, if queen g5, g4, rook g8, pinning the pawn. I like that idea. Yeah, that's another reason to play queen g5 instead of... oh, okay, never mind. That did not happen. Now, if h4, queen knight f5, how is the queen helping on f2? Maybe he wants to castle short. Yeah. Now, bishop d7 doesn't prevent knight f5 because bishop takes queen. Well, and also I'm hanging h5. So yeah, I like now h4 is possible. Like if the queen is defending the knight, so queen g5, there's h4. So I feel like I should play h4 myself and find something after knight f5. So I'm gonna do that. And after knight f5, I'll find something. Let's see if my opponent goes knight f5 or not. Because the knight doesn't have a lot of squares from f5, right? I can start putting pressure on it. Let's say queen g5, bishop d7. It's at the very least dangerous. And now there's no longer g4, bishop g4. I guess there's still rook f1. So the knight should not be in danger, but it feels scary, like, right? Like queen g5. Let's see if I'm not hanging anything. I needed to protect that also. And now I'm gonna probably target the knight again. Rook f1 may be necessary. And I have ideas connected with d4 now that this is pinned. Yeah, it feels nice, but I don't think I'm winning anything immediately yet. But it feels really nice. Okay. I feel like bishop d7 makes more sense than bishop g6. And the point is, first of all, I'm safer, or my king is safer. And second, this knight would be more flexible about where to go. Although I think I like it on e6. Not sure what it's doing on g6, honestly. Let's keep the g file open. This knight is a little bit annoying, honestly. It's there, it doesn't have squares, but I can't really attack it. Whoa. Right. Yeah, well, that prepares bishop g4. That's true. So now bishop d7 makes even more sense. And then if I play... yeah, I'm not a fan of my position suddenly. Yeah, that move completely caught me off guard. And now if I play d4, he's gonna have bishop d2. So okay, let's play a very logical move, and and then after bishop g4, I'll think. Maybe just knight e6. Yeah, this looked very good, but now it's not so obvious. Um, Knight g6 could connect with e4 knight and some knight to e5. If bishop g4, after bishop g4, I'm expecting bishop g4 here. So bishop g4, knight g6. I think everything's defended on my side. And then if knight bd2, just e4. Hello, Springer. There's a delay on the stream, like 15 minutes. I'm reading your chat right now, but I know you're not gonna hear my answer until 15 minutes have passed. Okay, so he decided to go on with rook f1, which makes some sense. But I expected bishop g4, honestly. I think I'm gonna go with knight g6, which has a couple benefits. One of them is I'm closer to my plan of e4 knight 95, like if bishop g4 happens now, for example. And the other benefit is I'm covering e7. I don't know how important that is, but could potentially be relevant. Hello, Survivor. Hey, guys. Thanks for the support. Again, remember there's 15 minutes delay, so you can probably comment in the chat things about the position because I think at this time the match is about to start for you. It's been 14 minutes playing, so you're about to see the initial position, I guess. But yeah, that's long gone for me. Well, I have to admit, I didn't see that move at all. And I also have to admit, I don't understand it. I am really puzzled right now with that move. Uh, I'm really puzzled. It comes without a threat, as far as I can tell, and that's annoying. It's annoying when you don't see a threat from your opponents because obviously he didn't just do a random move. He has an idea, and I don't see the idea. I mean, knight h5 can target f6, but it's so hard to believe. I could go rook h7. I could go rook h7. That's funny. Rook h7 just to force knight back to f5. How badly do I want that knight back on f5? I mean, I don't know what's doing on g7. Like, I feel like I could go d4 or knight d4, but d4 bishop d2 again. Can I go e4, preparing e4, bishop takes f6, maybe. So maybe his idea is to prevent e4. Is that the idea? It feels weird. Maybe that's his idea. But if I go rook h7, he has to go back, right? Rook h7 now. Yeah, and I don't think the rook is that bad on h7, right? And now once he goes back, I can, which by the way, I'm also defending e7 with the rook. And yeah, I'm not worried about moving the rook because it was more or less obvious that I'm not going to castle short in this game. Okay, so I feel like e4 e4 makes sense, but I give away the d4 square for the knight precisely. So do I have another useful move? Like bishop e6. But bishop e6 has drawbacks. One drawback is after e4, the knight will hit it. The other drawback is after bishop g4, the bishop is undefended on e6. So probably bishop e6 is not a great move. What else can I do? I can start a series of trades that probably doesn't benefit me. Where to bring this knight? Yeah, I feel like e4 must be played and therefore must be calculated. e4. If knight e4, I can play knight g e5, and if knight takes, then if knight c3, then yes, bishop e6 makes sense. And d4 is still there. Actually, yeah. So okay, I have to do something. So let's do that because I don't see how else to improve my position. Well, there's b5 too. Yeah, there's b5 too. Is b5 too much? Let's consider it for a second. b5. If a3, I can play b4. So I don't know. b5 seems like a bit of suicide, but let's see. b5. Uh, 3 b4. If bishop e2, b4. Do I really want to push that bishop back to d2? I feel like it's badly placed on c3. So what am I doing? b5. Right. I see the problem. The problem is my knights are in the wrong squares, right? I really need a knight on e4. So I should have brought the knight to e6 and c5. But I guess now it's too late to rectify that. So b5. No, forcing bishop d2 is a mistake. So e4, knight d4, knight g5, knight takes e6, knight takes e6. Bishop d2. Yeah, I don't like that. I need to do something. Okay, let's do b5. It's at least it has the advantage of being concrete. So yeah, as expected. So now I'm gonna do this. And after knight e4, I can bring this knight here. I don't want to take it, obviously. No, it makes no sense. Oh, actually knight e4 hits my pawn that I just put there. I just realized. So should I take on d4? and then queen g3. Feels very wrong. It feels very wrong. So maybe I have to sacrifice a pawn here. Maybe I have to sacrifice a pawn here. Oh my god. Nah. Just defend it. Oh, okay. Well, I did not expect that. So knight there. No. Knight b4, a3, c6. Give away the d6 square. Well, I don't like what's happening in this game. Knight b4, a3. I don't know. I have to do something. I'm getting a bit stressed here. Okay, 3, I'm gonna go 95, I think. Better than c6 probably. Bishop e2 maybe. Bishop e2 c6. c6 is very sad. I don't want to play c6. Why did I go into this mess when I could have just slow played and just get to an endgame? Hubbard, bonjour. Bonjour. Français ce soir. Yeah, I know. Good evening there. Well, in France, not in French. Okay, so that's expected. And now c6, long castle, knight a6, knight e6 check. I can play king c7 very safely. So let's go with c6. What a mess. What a mess of a position. Expecting long castle, but actually there's short castle as well. Both of them hit my knight. So there's that pawn on e3. That's in my favor, and everything else looks suspicious. So I'm gonna try to consolidate this position. Let's say any castling, I'll answer with knight a6. And yeah, my pawn on f6 is very suspicious. Well, actually, long castle is okay. Was the move. I thought of something here. I can't remember what. I think I have to take. Is there anything else but taking? Take on c2 doesn't help because he has an intermediate check. Take on f5. Take on f5. Doesn't help either. Yeah, this is bad. This is really bad. What about c5? c5 or bishop? Bishop takes this. Bishop takes f5. 96 check. c5. Okay, so let's say I take. How weak is c3? Okay, I'm going to take because I can't calculate. Something wrong with my brain right now. Bishop 6 b4. So I'm going to be just a pawn down for nothing. And oh, bishop takes will defend it. But it's a weird move, isn't it? Like king c7, bishop takes b4, bishop e7. Such a weird move. Well, I have to do something. I have to move my king. So right. That was a bit of, I don't want to say a relief, but it was a very weird intermediate move that my opponent played there. I don't know. I guess he's still a pawn up, but he kind of lost a bit of control there. Maybe, hopefully. So if knight takes b5, I can take, and that looks actually pretty good for me. So yeah. Yeah, now it's a bit shaky for white because obviously the bishop is hanging on b4 if the knight moves. And on the other hand, I'm taking the knight. It's true that I'm hanging then f6, and that's going to be at least 2 pawns for the piece. So and probably some initiative too. Maybe he even gets the third pawn because b5 is really weak. I don't know. It felt that he could have done the same without the check on d6, and he would have a great position. But right now, the knight can't go back to f5 because bishop takes b4. So we'll see. So if bishop takes b5, I take on d6. If knight takes b5, bishop takes b5. Bishop takes e7, bishop takes e2. Queen takes e2. Let me pause here. But yeah, let's see if the other game is still ongoing. Let's refresh this. Oh, Black won. Souza won that game. It was looking really, really good for white. So we'll see what happened there. Fabian, thanks for the follow. Yeah, again, there's a delay in the stream, so I'm not really interacting with the chat. All right. Is there a move for white? Let's say long castle. Let's say just long castle, for example. Bishop takes d6, king takes d6, queen takes f6, queen takes f6, rook takes f6, bishop e6, bishop takes b5. That's 3 pawns. That's just 3 pawns for the piece. It's true that g2 is weak. It's true that my knight is awesome. And my rooks are somewhat active, but it's 3 pawns for the piece. Not gonna be easy. So yeah, long castle. That would be a reasonable move. You know, hitting d5. Even after bishop takes d6, my opponent could take on d5 maybe. But then I guess bishop takes b4 and I can trade rooks with rook a1, rook takes f1. Well, at least it's concrete, and I'm still above 10 minutes, so I guess I'll be able to calculate it all. Here I just take it, right? And what's my opponent's point? The bishop is hanging on b4. So now, okay, now he got 2 pawns for the piece, but that's just it, right? He can't take on b5, I think. I mean, it's just a trade. Oops, sorry. I'm trying to clean. So bishop takes b5, bishop takes b4. Oh, there's the third pawn. Yeah, queen takes f6. Okay, so that's reasonable. Definitely more reasonable than bishop takes e7, which allows bishop takes e2. Wait a second. Bishop takes e7, bishop takes e2, bishop takes f6. I did not see that. Queen h5. Bishop takes e2, bishop takes f6, queen h5. Bishop e5, queen e5, queen e2. And yeah, that's bad. That's really bad. That's really bad, but I don't want to take on e7 here. Okay, so bishop e2, bishop f6. That's what I missed. Do I have something there? Definitely not rook pinning the bishop. Definitely not knight g4 or knight d3. Okay, this is bad. This is really bad. I can go knight d3 now and then take on e7. That's gonna be bad. I think I have to go for it. I think I have to go for bishop e2, bishop f6, queen h5, bishop e5 check, queen takes e5, queen takes e2. But my king is busted. And I'm 2 pawns down. Or 3. 3 pawns down. Oh my god. Is that all that is here? Oh my god. Bishop e2, bishop f6. problem is queen h5, bishop e5 is check. I mean, I can, oh yeah, maybe I can, right, instead of taking on e5, I'll keep the bishops alive. That can give me some chance, right? King c6, okay, some chance to get checkmated too. Let's say king b7. King b7 maybe. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Let's do that. I have to do something. Darn it. So bishop takes e5, king b7. I think it's a very reasonable square. So after rook e1, well, one thing is maybe I can trade bishops there. I don't think I want to, but that would be one option, to trade bishops there as an improvement. The rook is no longer on f1. But probably the most reasonable, let's say rook e1, the most reasonable would be bishop b5 or bishop c4. Bishop c4 actually, for the tricks. Wherever the bishop goes, it's gonna hit. I'm gonna hit his bishops. So bishop d3 is still a move, but suspicious. Bishop b5, probably more solid. My opponent could also try, I don't know, queen f5 here. No, queen f5, I take the rook. Never mind. Yeah, I guess he's got to move the rook. Then bishop c4. Bishop c4 slightly more active. Bishop c4, bishop d4, rook f7. Yeah, let's see. There's queen d2. Yeah, queen d2 is another problem. So maybe not rook f7. But queen d2, I can't really stop it. Rook a5, rook c8. Well, if I don't go rook f7, there's queen f6, very annoying. So I think I'm gonna go rook f7, and then after queen d2, I'll find something else. Maybe queen g6, and if queen b4, this is very dangerous. This is very dangerous. Maybe queen g5, or double rooks. Am I checkmated? I like rook a6. My rooks are defended, and I'm covering important squares. I may get checkmated, but I have to do something. I have to take risks here. And my bishop on c4 is weird, but there's some squares on e2 and f1 to still maybe save it if necessary. So I'm not sure where I want to go here. I suppose king c7. If queen c5. Ah. Okay, so I can go rook c6 actually. Or king d7. My first idea was king d7. With some queen e2 tricks that don't work. Rook f2 tricks. But rook c6 actually may be tricky. Yeah, I'm gonna go rook c6. So queen a7, king d8, bishop b6, king e8. Oh wait, my rook on c6 is in a bit of trouble. It's not as safe as I thought. Check. There, check. Yeah. So let's go here. Okay, king d7 was the plan. Let's not hand the rook. Queen a4 maybe. Queen a4 interesting. Rook f2. Yeah, queen a4 comes without a threat, right? So I could maybe play rook f2. Queen a4 is annoying because it pins my rook, but on the other hand, if it has no threat, I would just go rook f2 maybe. So now if he checks back on a7, I can go king e6. That's a difference because I wasn't sure with king d6, queen b8 check, but now I can keep running. And if queen b7, rook c7, obviously, if rook a7, queen a7, I also have rook c7 maybe. Yeah, it's an improvement already, d7 over c7 when the check happened on a7. So it feels like I'm very weak, my king very exposed, but on the other hand, my opponent is only attacking with 2 pieces. That's the best that can happen right now because he's got like 3 extra pawns. So should I go rook c7 or king e6? King e6 hits the queen. Where's the queen going? Queen a4. Maybe I can double on the c file. If rook c7 check, yeah, I'm gonna go king e6, I think. So yeah, opposite color bishops with heavy pieces. It's all about the activity. Unfortunately, my king is very exposed, but fortunately my opponent is not using the rooks yet. So hopefully I'll be able to build something after I imagine the rook coming to c7 and I imagine the pawn coming to c3. I'm thinking of that position. And if I can target the g2 square, if the rook defends it, then maybe enter on f2. I don't know. I feel like if I can still activate my queen to coordinate with my bishop, could be dangerous. On the other hand, just trying to not get checkmated. Okay, the queen is attacked, and now he has to decide. Queen a4 seems very natural, but there's queen a8 as well. Queen a8 trying to keep some activity from the rear. Queen b8, okay, similar idea maybe. Now rook c7 still seems like a reasonable move. Queen g8 is the additional option my opponent has. Now, yeah, I'm gonna do this because rook f1 is not happening anytime soon. So after queen g8, king d7, and if I run to b7, I am actually gonna be funnily safe. Yeah, and in order to prepare bishop e5, he needs like this check here, allowing king c8, because otherwise my queen is protecting that. What a mess. I'm 3 pawns down. But yeah, at least I managed to find reasonable squares for my pieces. Queen g7, king c8. Then maybe he has queen f8, queen b4. I don't want to make a draw. Right. So yeah, that's a problem. Queen f8, queen b4. I can try king a8, but he's oh actually yeah. Then I have the blockade on c8 if check on f8, or on a6 if check on the a file. It feels really scary to stop defending a7, but I may have to do that. I may have to do that. Yeah, I don't see. I don't see. I mean, I can repeat always. Right now, I don't see a better option than going king a8. Maybe I should bring my queen to help. Maybe it's not that important that my queen is doing something on the other side. Yeah, eventually maybe queen e8. I like to keep an eye on that square on e5. So on b7 I'm sort of safe except for that check. Yeah. Oh wait, if queen a5 I can't block with the rook, so I should block with the bishop, if any. If any. I can try king b8, which seems dangerous. Then if queen b4, rook b7, queen f8, rook c8, queen f4, king a8. Not the worst. But maybe I can try something else, like bishop a6. I mean queen a5, bishop a6 directly. Feels dangerous, but it comes with a tempo. And then if let's say c3, where's my follow-up? That's a problem. Yeah, not having a follow-up is a problem. Queen a5, bishop a6, c3, c3. having a follow-up is a big problem. So I guess I have to go king b8 here. King b8, queen b4, rook b7, queen f8, rook c8, queen f4, king a8. I guess I have to do that. It feels really scary to put my king on a dark square. e5 is under control, rook f1 is under control. I'm playing with fire here, and bishop b6, I just go rook b7. Playing with a lot of fire here. So queen b4, rook b7, queen f8, rook c8, queen f4, queen f4, king a8. That's pretty much the plan. I can't block on c7. After queen f8, rook here, queen f4. If I block on c7 with either rook, he can pin it because now his queen is helping. And it's actually a very good square for the queen on f4. So I'm not happy about the queen arriving on that square. There's also this square, by the way. I think it's pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. And now finally, no more checks. Now, I don't know if I can claim anything at all in this position. Queen e6, he can try to keep initiative. Maybe I can try to trade queens. Maybe that's my best shot. I don't know. Queen e6, maybe I have rook b c7. Then queen b6 is dangerous. Also bishop e5. This is torture. I should probably not play any ambitious move here. I should probably just hold as I'm doing. I feel like if I take a risk, I'm gonna get checkmated. I sort of have a threat. I don't know if it's a threat, but bishop d3 is one idea. And or bishop b3, but I want to keep control of a6, so bishop d3, but I really need my queen somewhere else. Maybe queen g5, hit g2, that would make sense. Okay, that attacks my rook. So yeah, one option here is just queen e8, and at least after the queen trade I'm much safer. But then my opponent has b3 because my rook is no longer on the c file. What else can I do? I mean, the queen doesn't have other square to defend the rook. I have rook e8, but again, I want the rook on the c file in principle. And that queen can try to aim for, let's say, queen c6, try to aim for queen a4 check, although that may not be the end of the world. Let's say rook e8, queen c6, queen g6. No, I can't play queen g6. Queen f7. Let's say queen f7. And if check, just king b8. And there's no bishop b5 check. Now my rook is helping there. And queen f2 ideas. Rook will go back to c8, and my queen is protecting some squares. So rook e8, interesting. It also prevents, let's see if I'm not hanging anything. It also prevents queen e5. I don't know if my opponent was intending a queen trade. I may actually need a queen trade, but I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to keep some threats, because for now my opponent is not using the rooks. So for now, I feel like my position is challenging. And now, finally, the queen on h5 was not doing much. Now there are some ideas of invasion. So after the check, I have to go king b8. But then white has no checks. It is true that I'm allowing b3 that I wasn't earlier. I guess I'll have to play bishop f1 or something. I have bishop e5 also, yeah. And my queen is helping defend this pawn as well, now that the bishop is probably going to be forced to move. What a mess. How did I end up here? Now my follow-up is rook c8, except for one thing. My follow-up is not that move. Right. Huh. Oh, the bishop is coming. I need a good move here. And then queen a8 check. I really need to stop that. So rook e6 makes a lot of sense. Let's do it. Queen protecting squares, rook protecting squares. Funnily, I have the threat of rook a6 trapping the queen. Well, that's a funny threat. That's a fun threat. So b3, rook a6. Well, that's a real funny threat. The queen has no squares right now. He may be forced to play c3 right now. Right? c3 only move, but it's a very ugly move. And there's also bishop e3 ideas. c3, queen f2. Wait a second. c3, queen f2, rook moves, bishop e3. Ah, now the queen has squares. Yeah. I missed that. So it's rook b5 winning a piece. Is rook b5 winning a piece? Rook a6, the queen leaves. But rook b5. Rook b5. Queen c3 maybe a try, because then if rook takes c5, there's b3. But then I have rook e c6. Queen h8 check. Still, I have a strong attack, but there's rook b1 check and mate on b8. Oh my god. Not so simple. Not so simple. Okay. Also, there's this check here which I completely missed. I totally missed that check. Okay. And it's actually a very annoying check, because then bishop d6 and he's actually winning an exchange. So maybe I have to play a queen. I don't want to play a passive move. Yeah. But if I get distracted, queen d8 is mate right now. So rook b5, queen d8, rook b5, queen c3. I may still have something there. Can I play queen c7 here right now? I like queen c7. This b4 takes and b4. No need to play bishop d4. Okay, what else do I have? Oh, queen f6. I have queen f6 here. It's a funny move too. Queen f6. Queen f2 hangs mating 1. Okay, so queen f6. Bishop d4, I guess. Queen f6. If queen c3, nah. I need to do something, Pepe. Queen f6, at least I keep the queen on the f file. Queen f6, how bad can that be? Bishop a7 doesn't work. Let's go queen f6. Bishop d4 maybe. Yeah. Queen f8 maybe. He can try to repeat. Okay, queen f8. There's still the mate threat. So for example, if b3, bishop f1, he could try rook takes f1, but queen takes f1 is check, and then king b2 hits my queen on the checkmate, but I am in time to go back defend the checkmate. So I guess b3, bishop f1 is playable, but I need to be careful. Okay, so that's what I thought. That's what I thought about the repetition, and here I wanted queen c8. How bad is queen c8? Let's do it. Queen c8 fast. Need to be incredibly careful with my dark squares, but everything's defended. Rook b5 hangs mate on a7, so it's not a threat. But rook a6 may be a threat. That bishop is not easy to defend right now. If the bishop moves, suddenly I have action on the c file. Rook c6 may be coming as well. Rook c6 need to keep an eye on e5. Really need to keep an eye on this diagonal, so probably the rook needs to keep an eye on e5 if the bishop goes to d4 right now. So let's say bishop d4, bishop d3, c3. Yeah. What squares? That, yeah, now this queen can go away. Just sort of annoying. Maybe I'm interested in pushing the queen away. And then queen c7. Now again, rook a6, if for example, if bishop d4, rook a6, there's bishop e5 check. I need to be extra careful with that. Oh, I did not expect that. So let's not hand the mate. But if rook a6, where's the queen going? How does he defend the bishop? Maybe he goes for the idea of queen c3. So after queen takes this b3, but that pawn is pinned. So I'm gonna go rook a6, I believe. Rook a6, rook a6, rook a6. Yeah, let's see if I can get that bishop. So queen c3, queen takes, b3. I just move the queen. There's no threat. The b3 pawn is pinned. So I may regain my piece, or the equivalent to the 3 pawns. But then I should be doing fine. Let's see if maybe I missed something, but he's under a minute now and needing to find a good move. I mean, good thing I'm playing with my 4 pieces here against that queen and bishop, because that bishop goes on dark squares. That means that my bishop is never able to defend those squares. And it's not so, you can tell how the fight is close, even though it feels like 4 pieces against 2, but you can tell how the fight is being close due to the dark square, the opposite color bishops. But so it's more like 3 versus 2. But in the end, it seems like I managed to coordinate well. So let's take that. He can try to grab that pawn. That would make sense. But then maybe king a7, and suddenly I have a lot of initiative. Let's say rook b6. So yeah, if checking a7, maybe... I did not expect that one at all, because I can do the same and not have the problem of hanging a pawn. So yeah, let's do it. Maybe even rook takes a3 is a threat. I don't know. I don't think I want to. I don't think I want to test that theory. That's weird. That's weird. So let's trade. Let's maybe get a pawn, I think. I don't know. It feels like this is going to be an easy one now. Trading queens, very, very weird in that position. Rook g1, very passive. I can go probably rook bg7. I can also push this guy. I can also play rook g3. Castling is not available, right? Yeah, no, the king started that. Okay. So rook g3 maybe. Or just rook bg7. Rook bg7, if g4 I take. Thanks, cross online. Yeah, let's just go rook g3. I feel like you just slow play this and we'll eventually convert it. And after b3 I can even trade if I feel too fancy, but I don't feel like too fancy. Yeah, let's just move the bishop out. Let's say bishop a6 or bishop e2, maybe a move. Let's just get out. And I don't think he can push the c pawn right now, so maybe rook a2 first. And if rook g7, then he pushes the c pawn, then I take on h3. Okay, let's go after that one. King d2. There's this check, potentially annoying, I suppose. Oh, that's a weird move. I can install my bishop on c4 if necessary, but I can also take here, and that's a free pawn, because if he takes, I trade all the rooks and collect h3 and win. So I think this is simple enough. And if he doesn't take, well, I'm going to install this here, as I mentioned, because that's still on the board. And now I can play rook h anywhere really, but I think rook h g3 and yeah, rook h1, rook 7 g4. I can collect without trading, I think. Here I wanted that, but if I take on g2 immediately, yeah, let's do this. You know my style, I don't want to give any chances to my opponents, and so I think I can collect b6, because I mean he's gonna push. I can go here, but then rook h1. White resigned anyway. Yeah, b6, I can defend this and go after that. I don't know. GG. I think I got a bit lucky. Well played. Good luck the rest of the league. Okay, so I won. That was lucky. Very lucky. I wonder, let's see what Stockfish thinks. Yeah, that's more or less how I felt like, except I was super confident here, which makes sense. And then I think it was only around here that I realized I was in bad shape. I didn't feel like in bad shape, but it was probably already in bad shape. Yeah, around here I felt like losing control, but it didn't seem that bad. But I guess So Tranzoo says king b1 is the blunder. Oh yeah, definitely yes. Yes. Just lost the piece immediately. Yeah, bishop d4. Engine suggestion. Yeah, as expected. Yeah. So yeah, king b1 obvious blunder, but these positions are tricky. So the engine goes from +5 to -4, and I agree it feels like -4, but maybe it didn't feel like +5. Actually, I thought I was doing fine-ish because I managed not to lose on the spot, and then I think this position is still not easy, and I think the way to go for white is to just maybe bishop d4 and then maybe just queen d2 c3, very slowly play, um, because black managed to coordinate the defensive resources, and it looks like this queen and bishop will not be able to do any harm. Very interesting, because it's not super easy for white to activate with that f1 covered and the g2 pawn weak, but yeah, +5. I mean, it's 3 pawns, but it will take a while for white to do something. Yeah, I'm happy that, well, happy. I was happy during the game that white just went straight forward with a caveman approach with queen and bishop, and it wasn't enough. But those 3 pawns, if this pawn, this a pawn, if it started pushing at some point, I would be in danger. Like if white just consolidates and starts pushing this pawn and possibly the b pawn too. Wow. Okay, game's over. Thanks, guys. I may end the stream now. It's hard to enter. Okay. Um. So yeah, got very lucky. But um, I was in big trouble already, and so the reason I went for this endgame, that is, well, here I realized I miscalculated, and actually the engine hates this move queen h5, which is funny. So from +2 goes to +5. The engine hates this idea. Um, but the point was, because, okay, 93 taken and queen h5, the engine preferred this, which actually makes some sense. The problem is when I calculated this line, I was only considering, yeah, I did not consider king b7 here. Huh. So give the piece on d3 to expose this king. Yeah, that would have been interesting. My idea was that once the queen comes here, which is going to happen, I thought with this king here, I would have something on the light squares if the c2 pawn pushes, or otherwise on e1 on the second rank. But that was very hard to assess. Yeah. So the engine hates this. But the good news for me is opposite color bishops with heavy pieces. It's all about the activity, and this rook is not getting active. So my king is completely toasted. +9. But on the plus side, if I survive, my pieces are all active. Long castle here. Rook e8. Rook bc7, the engine wanted. But rook bc7, I thought queen b6 was annoying because I think it's gonna have checks again, and we're gonna repeat some position probably. b3 here, which I thought was possible, yeah. And I had so many options to go wrong here, like big threat on d6. And I understand it was tempting for white to come up with all these big threats. Like, for example, here there's a threat of checkmate on d8, and later on king b1, there's a threat of checkmate if I go rook b5, queen a7 mate. The problem is rook a6 wins the piece, yeah. Yeah, here I thought bishop d4, yeah. Got really, really lucky here, man. Well, good game. I wanted to see what happened in the other game because it was a surprising result. Because I thought White was doing really well, but I guess that changed. So c4 apparently wasn't a good move. Interesting. And a3 was a bad move. And g4 was played. Takes, knight g3. Huh, okay. Well, I was expecting queen to develop. Yeah, that check only helps black. That check on d1, it only helps black's king. Although the engine preferred king c8. Ah, king g2, that was the plan. So take. Hello. Got that threat. And it came. Hey, thanks, Cross Online. There was maybe that. Queen c3, which the engine hates. The engine wanted king e8, obviously, but queen c3 seems nice. I mean, it's creating some problems there. Okay, that's okay. I wonder if check king moves finally to e8, and now that king is safe. Queen c2 hanging the knight. Oh, so he had the piece and mate. He had the piece here, and on the next move, he had mate. And white resigned. Greetings, fist fight. Okay, so that's what happened in this game. Okay. Um, brutal. Okay, so let's go on. So next round next week. I'm really relieved. And what else do we have? Um, yeah, no more games until Thursday. And for me, probably until next week. It was fun. Chess 960 always fun. But man, what a game. Let me see my blunder in the opening. Rook h7 was a blunder. f5. I did not even consider f5. Trapping the knight. Oh my goodness. I did not even consider the move. Yeah, knight g7 was a bad move. It was a horrible move. I should have just played f5. Anyway, then b5 is a horrible move. Knight c7. That's the next mistake, next level mistake. b4 was playable here. What does the engine say after knight takes? Because I considered this, but rook a5. Well, I did not consider that. So actually after b4, white may need to play some knight too. Thanks for the follow, Fist Fight. Yeah, again, sorry I'm not interacting with the chat, but this delay. Yeah, okay, I'm not, engine is not loading, but yeah, knight takes this rook a5, which I completely missed, so probably knight e2 was necessary. Man, and even there, it was still -1. It was still like black was still doing okay. But after knight b4, black's no longer doing okay. I mean, I felt I lost control there, but yeah, knight takes b5. My opponent found some good moves, but here this check, well, the engine doesn't care. I thought it was a mistake, but apparently the evaluation doesn't change. So I got that one wrong. Yeah, and I thought this was great until I realized bishop takes f6. And I'm completely lost. And then it was all a matter of, you know, in these positions, you just calculate so you don't get checkmated. That's basically it. You hold and you hope for something good to happen later on. Definitely, you don't hope for something good to happen anytime soon. And then it eventually did. So yeah, got really lucky there. Yeah, good game. See you next time. Tomorrow we'll be doing endgames and without delay. See you guys. Thanks for being there. Bye bye. If I find where to stop the stream now.